Ladies and gentlemen, Board of Trustees, Dr. Monique Guillory, faculty, students, staff, alumni, and friends of Dillard University, good morning. Today we are gathered for the 2024 Founders Day Convocation to honor the founding of Dillard University. We take this opportunity to reflect on the university's history and express our gratitude to all who have supported Dillard University over the years. At this time, I would like to extend my appreciation to the Founders Day Planning Committee, led by Dr. Eartha Johnson, Interim Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Ms. Amanda Winfield Buford, Director of Alumni Relations, as well as the participants on the program today. A special thank you to our keynote speaker, Trustee Vince Hudson, and Ms. Tiffany Moore, who will offer greetings on behalf of the Dillard University Alumni National, as the Dillard University Alumni National President. The program will proceed as listed, and we will begin with the invocation delivered by Reverend Herbert Brinson III, University Chaplain, and we ask that you remain standing for the singing of Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Let us prepare our hearts and minds for a word to the Creator. O gracious and great Spirit of our ancestors, the great divine, we call upon you from the shores of the mighty Mississippi, echoing the rhythms of the rivers that have nourished our people since time immemorial. From the banks of the Niger, the Nile, and the Congo, to the hallowed grounds here at Dillard University, we feel the unbroken chains of wisdom and resilience that connects us to our roots in Mother Africa. On this sacred day, as we gather to celebrate 155 years of Dillard University's unwavering commitment to faith, knowledge, and progress, we invoke the strength of those who came before us. We remember the visionaries who in 1869 planted the seeds of hope, seeds of education that would grow into this great institution. Ex fide fortis, from faith, strength, from confidence, courage. These words have been our guiding light, illuminating the path through times of triumph and tribulation. So today we stand tall, our spirits fortified by the faith that has sustained us for over a century and a half. Divine Creator, we ask for your continued blessings upon Dillard University. And may the flame, the blue flame of knowledge, continue to burn even brighter within these sacred halls and within the hearts of those that are graced to partake of it. May the spirit of unity and the purpose that has defined our journey continue to inspire generations to come. We give thanks for the legacy of resilience. We give thanks for the pursuit of excellence. We give thanks for the commitment to justice that have been the hallmarks of our beloved university. As we honor our past, we look to the future with hope and with determination, ready to face the challenge of the opportunities that lie ahead. Grant us wisdom to honor our heritage, and the courage to challenge injustice, and the compassion to serve our community and the world. May we continue to be the beacon of light, nurturing minds, uplifting spirits, and fostering the leaders of today and tomorrow. For it's in the name of the Holy One, we pray for the guidance and for the strength and for the continued blessings upon Dillard University. And may our faith remain even stronger, our vision even clearer, and our commitment even more engaged as we continue to press towards excellence. Amen, amen, and amen.
Let's give the Dillard University Concert Choir another round of applause. Every time I hear them, I get goosebumps, every time. So, good morning. To my fellow trustees, Interim President Dr. Monique Guillory, Cabinet leadership, faculty, staff, parents, friends, alumni, students, and the class of 2025. I welcome you to the 2024 Founders Day Convocation. I am Tiffany C. Moore, an honor graduate of the phenomenal class of 2002, and I have the incredible privilege of serving as the 31st president of the Dillard University National Alumni Association and alumni liaison to the Board of Trustees. As we celebrate 155 years of excellence of this illustrious institution, we thank the Messiah for the gift of Dillard University. As the oldest historically Black institution of higher education in the state of Louisiana, she has been a beacon of hope and promise of a proud and glorious people. As we celebrate Founders Day, we remember with thankfulness and profound gratitude that we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, our ancestors, who now rest from their toils but left us a rich and enduring legacy. 1869 was a moment of faith for our fair Dillard. Birthed from the union of New Orleans and Straight Universities, two institutions created to educate formerly enslaved individuals who only a few years before were chattel. Many question if training Black Americans in a broad way was even worth the effort and investment. They often lack resources, but with courage and a will to persevere, they triumphed over adversity and impact generations that were yet unborn. Their work was produced with conviction, their labor was prompted by love, and their endurance was inspired by a belief that our beloved institution was important to a people, to a nation, and to the world. We do not rest on our great legacy, but rather we are inspired by it, with the reminder that he did not bring us this far to leave us. Like many historically Black institutions, our alma mater is an incubator for excellence, a sanctuary for Black identity, and a training ground for leaders, innovators, problem solvers, and change makers, like Justice Rivas Ortiz, the first Black justice of the Louisiana Supreme Court, or Shauna Broussard, the first Black commissioner of the Federal Elections Commission, who served as the first Black chair of the commission in 2021, and Napoleon Bracey Jr., a member of the Alabama House of Representatives and chairman of the Alabama House Legislative Black Caucus, and my line sister, Dr. Shanita Landry, a board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist, author, and television correspondent who co-hosted the Emmy Award-winning daily syndicated talk show The Doctors for several seasons. And last but not least, your own Abby Lynn Gonzalez, a member of the class of 2025 and the university's current SGA president. Our Jewel of Gentilly continues to confront America's singular history of race relations while celebrating the promise of political action, social justice and equity, and democracy. She has prepared us to face the world with resilience and hope, to see the potential for positive change even in the darkest of situations. The Messiah has a feature and a hope for Dillard University. It is essential that we continue to fulfill the promise of Dillard's founders by continuing to provide educational opportunities to the many that cannot get such opportunities elsewhere. At the same time, to ensure our security and well-being as we persist in executing the mission of Dillard University, it is vital, indeed essential, that we strengthen the ties of community that bind us together. Today, it is my hope that we will renew that strength by recommitting to come together as one community, and that by gathering here today to celebrate 155 years, think about that, 155 years of unbridled audacity will be a cornerstone of this commitment. Thank you for your presence here today, and welcome home.
Good morning. Since it can't fit on my head, I will sit it right there on the podium. Greetings to my fellow Blue Devils, esteemed faculty and staff, returning alumni, honored guests, including our interim president, Dr. Monique Guillory, friends and family. My name is Abby Lynn Gonzalez, and I proudly serve as your 89th SGA president here at Dillard University. As we come together for Founders Day, I want to take a moment to focus on two specific words: growth and transformation. These are not just words, but a representation of what it means to be a student here at Dillard University. When we think about growth, we often picture ourselves learning in the classroom, in everyday life, absorbing new knowledge and expanding our understanding of the world. But growth is so much more than what we learn. It's about discovering who we are, navigating challenges, and learning to stand strong in our own beliefs while still remaining open to change. From the moment we stepped onto this campus, we began our own journey of growth and transformation. At Dillard, growth happens in our everyday life, academically, socially, and personally. Academically, we're constantly challenged to think critically and push beyond our comfort zones. Socially, we learn to communicate precisely and connect with others, embracing the diverse experiences and perspectives that make our communities so rich. And personally, we grow by acting courageously, discovering our own strengths, understanding our weaknesses, and learning to persevere when we're faced with obstacles and challenges. Transformation is more than just growth. It's about intentional change. Deciding who we are and what we want to become, and taking the steps to ensure that vision is a reality. Dillard gives us the space to transform not only into educated individuals, but into leaders who carry forward the values that we learn here. As we grow, we transform into the people who will shape our very future, just as those who came before us shaped the legacy that we now stand on. As we continue to grow and transform, let's remember the importance of tradition and legacy. Today, we celebrate 155 years. And throughout those years, Dillard has produced individuals who were not afraid to grow and challenge the status quo. But they transformed their communities. Even the smallest thing can make a difference. We stand on the shoulders of those who have paved the way for us. Their legacy of excellence, resilience, and leadership is the foundation that allows us to grow into who we are with confidence. Remember that as we honor the legacy our founders built. As you continue to grow and transform to build your own legacy, never forget that all of these things are connected. We are not separated from our past, but we continue to pour into those who come after us and build our own path. We grow by embracing the values passed down through our generations, and we transform by building on the foundation that they left us and creating an even stronger one for a future that no one can ever imagine. So continue to grow, continue to transform, continue to build your legacy, and connect it to the wonderful legacy that was already left here at Dillard University by our founders 155 years ago. Thank you.
We are here to celebrate and commemorate the founding of our university.
Founders Day
is the most important day for an institution. It is a day when a thought,
a philosophy, or a vision is transformed into
concrete reality.
And at our university,
Founders Day
is even more momentous because in a sense, it has been founded many times.
In New Orleans, well before the Civil War, the desire for education burned hot in both free and enslaved African Americans.
Woo! Thus, the idea for this university was born in the city's native schools that operated
in the midst of danger and darkness.
Ooh. This university was conceived in the North by those Black and white visionaries who calculated how the call of Jubilee could be echoed immediately with a response of education.
New Orleans University, New Orleans University, New Orleans University. When the Civil War ended in 1865, the Freedmen's Aid Society of the Methodist Episcopal Church founded the Thompson Biblical Institute for the training of African American ministers.
In 1869, Thompson was expanded and renamed the Union Normal School for the training of teachers. 4 years later, in 1873, now with a student population of 335, Union Normal was renamed New Orleans University. And the Methodist Episcopal Church approached the Louisiana legislature to seek a charter for the school, expanding the mission yet again to include medical training, giving students access to charity hospitals for hands-on instruction.
Straight University.
Just 1 month before Thompson Biblical became Union Normal in 1869, the American Missionary Association of the Congregational Church founded Straight University, naming it for the Honorable Seymour Straight, a Baptist educator, business person, member of the city council, and staunch opponent of slavery.
Straight University's first building at Esplanade and Durbany Streets was destroyed in an act of arson. But by 1880, the university continued its work, specializing in medicine and law. And in 1896, it was Straight University's lawyers who brought the landmark case, Plessy versus Ferguson. In the early part of the 20th century, the two schools struggled and faced an uncertain future, threatened by a poor Southern economy and by the scourge of white-on-black violence, by the global catastrophe of World War I, and by limited professional opportunities for African Americans.
Edgar Stern. Edgar B. Stern, successful New Orleans businessman, and his wife, Edith, the daughter of Sears and Roebuck, and entrepreneur and philanthropist Julius Rosenwald, were pivotal figures in the urban and civic life of New Orleans.
The Sterns were major contributors to causes that advanced the city, committing their wealth and resources to a variety of projects intended to build an equitable future for its citizens. Their home was a hub of political activity in which debates and discussions among an extensive and diverse social circle were commonplace.
Edgar Stern's relationship with Dillard began
in 1928
when he met with the president of the Julius Rosenwald Fund, Edwin R. Embry, to consider the housing, educational, and health needs of Black New Orleanians. This discussion led to another meeting sponsored by the New Orleans Association of Commerce in February of 1929.
This meeting included representatives from the Methodist Episcopal Church, New Orleans University, and
the American Missionary Association, Straight University,
and from the General Education Board. They met to consider ways and means of uniting these institutions of higher learning into a single and substantial university to serve African Americans in New Orleans and vicinity.
And so, it was decided on September 24th, 1934, New Orleans University and Straight University were merged into Dillard University, Dillard University, Dillard University, Dillard University.
Named for James Hardy Dillard, a nationally known educator and ardent supporter of education for African Americans.
And on September of 1935, Classes begin at the new Dillard University campus in the partially developed northeastern area of the city called
Gentilly.
Edgar Stern played key roles in the early stages of Dillard's development, serving as president of the Board of Trustees and often acting as mediator between opposing members of the multi-denominational board.
Part of the enduring evidence of the presence of the Sterns in New Orleans is their home,
Longview Housing Gardens.
So naturally, when the officials and offices of Dillard University needed to step away to plan and renew,
They rendezvous at Longview.
and in doing so, they join our founders to continue to influence our present and guide us to our future.
And so, on this auspicious day, we salute all our founders who continue to originate, endow, plan, and build.
We salute them.
thanking God for them.
And for all our saints who from their labors rest.
For we shall carry forth.
Arson,
Did not stop us.
floods,
Could not frustrate us.
pandemics,
Would not cripple us.
lean times.
Will not intimidate us.
We will stand determined in our mission to cultivate leaders who live ethically, think and communicate precisely, and act courageously
To make the world a better place.
Because Dillard University is made strong through its president, its trustees, its alumni, its faculty, its staff,
And especially its students.
Most important, it is God who has brought us thus far on the way.
Expide Fortis, Dillard University.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Taylor Tunstall, and it's truly an honor to serve as your 89th Miss Dillard University. As a senior biology major, pre-med student here, Dillard has not only shaped my academic journey, but has also instilled in me the values of leadership, service, and community. A foundation I'm proud to carry forward as I look towards a career in medicine. But today isn't about me. It's about someone who has walked these same halls and achieved incredible success. Our speaker today, Trustee Vince Hudson, exemplifies what it means to be a Dillard alum. A native of Shreveport, Louisiana, Trustee Hudson leadership began right here, serving as freshman class president and eventually becoming SGA president. Through internships in the Enroad program, he built the foundation for an outstanding career that spans across industries, from managing global brands like Crest and CoverGirl to holding executive positions at Samsung, BET, and most recently, Meta. Trustee Hudson's accomplishments are not only a testament to his determination and vision, but also to the support of his family, including his older sister, Mona Hudson, a proud Dillard alumna herself. His journey has been one of continuous growth, leading high-profile campaigns and projects that have touched millions around the world. From P&G to Diageo and beyond, Trustee Hudson has consistently pushed the envelope, becoming a leader in marketing innovation. Outside of his corporate life, he is passionate about hip-hop, golf, and writing, adding yet another layer of his multifaceted life. He resides in North Bergen County with his wife, Jennifer Hudson, not that one, and their 3 daughters, Olivia, Ava, and Vanna, who insisted their names be included in this bio. So without further ado, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce today's speaker, a visionary leader and a Dillard alum, Trustee Vince Hudson.
Thank you for that kind introduction. Happy Founders Day and greetings to Madam President, my fellow board, the faculty, the staff, students, fellow alums, and who I just walked in, I think the rap mogul masterpiece. Welcome. It's good to be back amongst the gleaming white and the spacious green. The last time that I was in this building was almost 14 years ago. I was jumping over the marriage broom around right here with my wife as we got married in this very chapel. And that day I made the second most important decision in my life, which is whom you're going to marry. I'll come back to that in a little bit. And about 20 years before that, I sat where you are, and I listened to someone who was, I'm sure, very accredited and truly inspiring speaker. I say probably because I have no clue who that speaker was. I don't remember. I actually don't remember a thing they said. So you see, I haven't made it yet to that graduation day speaker level where you all are waiting to preserve that memory your whole life and say, I was at graduation and Spike Lee spoke or Denzel Washington spoke and they had this great quote from Gandhi or MLK. This is Founders Day. I don't have that type of pressure. But today I'm just going to set a low bar for myself. If you remember one thing out of this conversation, even if you can't remember exactly who said it, I want to call that a success. In speeches, just like business, I want to under-promise, but then I want to over-deliver. But before I get into that, I want to acknowledge someone who flew in today from Dallas to hear me. And that is my sister, Mona Hudson, who was mentioned before, a class of 1986. She's the reason that I went to Dillard because she had a 7-year head start on me. And I always had her to look up to, literally and figuratively, as a blueprint example for success and excellence coming out of Dillard. Let's hear it for her coming to show sister support. And if I'm really being honest, my decision to come to Dillard was also somewhat influenced by my sister when she came home for some holiday and she brought our family 2 surprise guests, 2 of her dazzling AKA sorority sisters. I still remember their names, Renata and Abby. And I keenly remember my little 13-year-old self, who was engulfed in puberty and pimples at the time, smiling ear to ear. I took one look at them and hanging around in the house, and I told my mom and dad, Mom and Daddy, I'm going to Dillard. I only applied to one school. The rest was history. Now back to Founders Day. You've heard a very creative interpretation of what our school is founded on. The founders of Dillard gave us our foundation. So here's a fun fact. James H. Dillard, the educator that our school was named after, was a Latin professor at Tulane. So if he were here today, he would say that the Latin root word for foundation is fundamentum, which loosely translated is the laying of the base, from which all else will grow and align with later. I call it the base intent. You can call it a purpose. You can call it a mission. So while this is not, quote, graduation, in some ways, Founders Day is more important because it is laying a foundation for you, to build you, not just congratulate you. This is work, and it's about 3 things, really. Looking backwards and intentionally remembering what the founders had in mind, what their intent was. Number 2, it's about looking inwards at ourselves and asking ourselves, are we living up to that intent? And thirdly, we need to look forward and find inspiration to continue to journey towards our founders' vision and intention. Now, our first foundation, every one of us, comes from our parents or guardians. They gave us that base intention, and they set those expectations. For us, and I just mentioned Mona, we grew up in Shreveport. Any Shreveporters out there in the audience? All right, Shreveport still representing strong at Dillard. Mona, when we left the house going to anything significantly important or potentially dangerous, what would our parents say to us as we left? Remember who you are and remember whose you are. Meaning, make sure you represent your foundation well, or else. In my new family unit now, my wife Jennifer and I tell Olivia, Ava, and Vanna, yes, I had 3 daughters back to back, we tell them the same thing. Remember who you are and remember whose you are, what foundation you came from. So as much as they're sick of me saying it, especially my 13-year-old daughter, we're trying to lay that quality foundation for them. So the family is one analogy I want you to remember today on this Founders Day. But as you heard in my bio, I'm a marketing executive. I practice what's called brand management. So I will address foundation and founders from that aspect. When I attended speeches in this building, I heard preachers who would preach, and I heard teachers who would teach. But as a marketeer, I'm going to use marketing. Dr. Dorian Williams, is that all right with you? Head of business? All right. I ran the global strategy for the brand American Express. Anybody ever heard of that brand? Please go out and get one. I still own the stock. That brand was founded by a few bankers who had the intent of giving powerful backing to those people who would move the world forward. So everything that we did in American Express was filtered through that intention. As the chief brand officer of BET, Black Entertainment Television, I was charged with uncovering that brand's roots. And the founder of the brand, their intent was, I articulated as to develop and create a home for Black culture. I actually came up with that articulation, which is the same tagline that we use to market BET Plus today, so I digress. But my point here is that every choice that we made at BET was filtered through those words. So what's Dillard's foundation? Well, it can also be found in Dillard's roots. With the foundation or purpose, the fruits are always in the roots. So let's do a little archaeological dig back through Dillard's roots, which you heard some of today. One thing you'll find is a seal, the seal for Dillard. This seal was actually designed by Dame James Dillard himself, which reads, and of course in Latin, ex fide fortis, which you've heard a lot today. It means from confidence comes courage. I articulate that as leadership. Another thing that you'll find on the shield of Dillard is an oak tree leaf and an acorn. This is said to represent continued growth from parent to offspring. And the last thing I'll call out from digging around in Dillard's history is that the founders wanted to intentionally show that in the Deep South, Black people could do more than just be laborers, they could be professionals. So they combined the two schools and set a new standard of excellence. So if Dillard was my brand, and I feel that it is as a member of the Board of Trustees and as an alumni, I would say that the intention of the brand would be for all of us to show, number one, leadership, number two, growth. Your SGA president mentioned growth at least 6 times during her speech today. And number 3 would be excellence. All of these comes to life in Dillard's new mission statement. So if those are Dillard's brand elements, what are you? Well, you are the acorns, or as a marketer, I would call you the sub-brands of the parent brand Dillard. Your line extensions. If you remember nothing else, remember that your brand has 4 key elements. And I'm going to go through those: mind, body, resources, and soul. You are the brands that were first shaped by whatever situation you grew up in. And we all had different situations that we didn't really create or choose to be in. But whatever your situation, you came from those elements. You made it here to one of the finest institutions in the world. So congratulations on step 1. Give yourselves a round of applause. But at some point, and it starts in college, you become your own brand manager. You have to shift from being under your parents to giving yourself your own leadership. You're going to have to assess your status, make a plan, and work to grow your own brand: mind, body, resources, and soul. So at the end of at least each year, I want each of you to go back and assess how you're doing. Do a mind health check. How are my grades? What should I focus on? What am I excelling in? Body, did you blow through the freshman 15 and keep going? I know it's New Orleans, but at least I hope you're practicing some daiquiri shop moderation. The next annual checkup that I want you to do is your brand health on your resources. Now, I know it may not be top of mind because your founders, parents, are probably still funding your education here. But those 2 words often go together, your founders and the funding. But now, at some point, you're going to have to fund it yourself. And then let's see how much you roll down Rodeo Drive like Bryson Tiller saying, whatever you want. CC Prada, Hippoteka, whatever you want. I had to slip that in. I hear that song with my daughters now, and I have two nightmares. One is that somebody's asking them to do whatever they want to go shopping on Rodeo Drive. The other nightmare is for them asking me to buy them a Prada bag. So I digress. You're going to have to find out what your spending ratio is to your saving ratio. And speaking of saving, that brings me to the last point and element of your brand. It's called your soul. You know, when I said that I was in this chapel, I made life's second most important decision and choice, which was to get married and who I chose to walk that path of life with. I was saving the first most important decision in my life to talk to you now about. And it's not who you walk that path with, it's what path you choose to follow. Your spiritual path. Said another way, how do you want to be? What is the source of your strength? For Mona and me, our parents as our founders, they funded our college. But our soul, my spiritual founder, already paid the ultimate price for my salvation. So my job, our collective job, is to work on our alignment with that Spirit's intent. What that Spirit intended for us. I believe that is called love. So I know that's a lot to throw on you. 4 areas that you need to focus on all at once, but you are your brand's manager. Be confident, show leadership. And now that you're building your brand, let's have some fun with a speed round of some marketing tips I can give you, some tools and concepts. Number 1 is brand focus. If I could take a question here today, someone would ask, and a lot of my mentees do, what career path should I take? What should I focus on? Well, there's a book called Good to Great. You should all buy this book, whatever profession that you're in. The book Good to Great calls it the sweet spot triangle, where you know that you're going in the right path from a decision of where to take your life, your career. It says, ask yourself 3 questions. What can you be passionate about? That's the question you ask first, what you like. But don't stop there. Number 2 is, what can you be the best at? What can you really excel at? That's the second dot on the triangle. And the third dot on the triangle is what allows you to meet your economic needs, right? So if you have a life path that is in the center of that triangle and you can answer those questions sufficiently, you know you're on the right path. Another tool I'll give you in marketing is advertising. Everybody loves that. And I'm just not talking about posing on the gram. Keep posing on Instagram, by the way. I still own a lot of Meta and Facebook stock too. But I want you to advertise yourselves. I want you to network. I want you to advertise your brand and let the right people see your growth. If I had LinkedIn when I was at Dillard, I would be tapping into Dillard alumni from advice a lot of the times. Do it. Dillard alums are out there. They're doing fantastic things. I personally know top leaders in medicine, politics, finance, law, marketing, and that's just from my class of 1993. So next in your concept, you might want to try partnership marketing. Partnering with similar brands for common goals. HBCUs in general, and I love this about HBCUs and I love it uniquely about Dillard, is that it's such a special place that you're going to meet lifelong friends. My closest boys from Dillard that I ran with, like at the Duck Pond, if the Duck Pond still exists, we have a group chat that we started like 10 years ago, and we're on it probably daily. And daily something will come through, either a text about the Cowboys or Saints, to the latest opinion on who's the rap GOAT. It's Jay-Z, by the way. And every day one of my boys sends us a Bible verse. That's just, and the Bible verse often comes in as just the word that I need for that day. So my boys are your friends. They should be a part of your partner marketing as you grow your brands. And don't forget brand halo. If you're the sub-brands, as I talked about before, then you have an obligation to give back to the health of the parent brand, which is Dillard University. So tell everybody you meet that you went to Dillard. That's called parent brand attribution. When you shine, Dillard shines. And set your mind right now on, as you think about your resources, have the intent to contribute back some of those resources that you grow back to Dillard University so that you can continue the cycle. So I'll leave you with this branding framework, not just to hear, but to go out and build your brand by. And also leave you with a quote. Now this quote is not from anyone famous, and it's not even Googleable, because I just made it up a couple of days ago, and it's made up just from me to you today. And as you think about growth in any area of your life, think about this. The earlier in life that you make the right choices and the hard sacrifices, the longer in life that you will get to reap those benefits. And the opposite is also true. Now that ends the quotes, but you can infer from that the implication of waiting longer to make those hard choices and right sacrifices, you're not going to have as long to enjoy them. See, you have the gift, more than anyone in this room, the trustees, the alumni, you have the gift of time. It's on your side. You as the students. So the gift of time, open that box now, grow your brand, and remember your foundation. Thanks for having me today. Good luck, and God bless.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to be here. I'm Dr. Ashraf Ismail, the director for the Dillard University Center for Racial Justice. As you all are aware, or may not be aware, today is World Mental Health Awareness Day 2024. As we know, mental health has no longer has the stigma it once was since COVID and thereafter. Unfortunately, this is an area that's been severely lacking in terms of addressing. Our former governor closed down all the mental health clinics in the state, which has provided a lack of resources in getting assistance with mental health. As we know from our current research, about half the population in this country, ages 15 to 54, will experience a severe mental health disorder at some point in their life. And so as the Center for Racial Justice, we have put a lot of focus on mental health. We've hosted 2 mental health summer camps the last 2 summers with Delvin Bro and the New Orleans Saints, and we want to continue to do that in subsequent summers. We do have a big health summit coming up in Baton Rouge this coming November. The Minority Health and Health Equity Research Center and the Center for Racial Justice have teamed up since the summer in preparation for that this coming November in Baton Rouge. So we do recognize the importance and seriousness of this issue. And we obviously, Dillard has as well, as we put in a lot of mechanisms to make sure the students are getting assistance with mental health. I received a phone call Monday night from representatives of Master P, and they asked me, can you get the students together on Thursday because he wants to talk to the students? And I said, I think my work has been done for me because we do have Founders Day on Thursday, and this is one of the 2 days out of the year in which the campus gathers together in the chapel. And so Master P is going to be our other keynote speaker this morning, and I'm going to read his bio before I bring him up to discuss the work that he's been involved with mental health and the resources that he engages in that he will share with you all. Percy Master P. Miller is an iconic businessman, social entrepreneur, music Mongol, entertainer, producer, best-selling author, speaker, philanthropist, and mental health advocate who champions ownership as the foundation of success. Miller has a proven track record of creating successful products and brands, inspiring individuals to take control of their careers and financial futures. Although his entrepreneurial ventures are vast, his deepest passion lies in philanthropy, where he focuses on educating and empowering the next generation. Despite numerous awards and accolades, Miller finds his greatest fulfillment in giving back. He's dedicated to helping others and inspiring them to uplift their communities. His most significant contributions come through his philanthropic efforts. As a founder and chairman of T. Pope Foundation, he is deeply committed to improving the lives of youth and the elderly through programs designed to enhance their quality of life. Additionally, as a mental health advocate, Miller serves as an ambassador for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, where he promotes mental health awareness and support. In an effort to further facilitate mental health awareness, initiatives among the youth through his Team Hope Foundation, Master P has partnered with the owners of Psych LLC, Dr. Brittany Harrison and Dr. Delaze McKay. Together, they seek to enhance the quality of life of our community by fostering a therapeutic environment where youth will know they are not alone in their journey and feel empowered to achieve their goals and life-fulfilling lives. At this time, please give a hand of applause to our speaker, Master P.
How y'all doing? So y'all know I'm born and raised in New Orleans, Percy Miller, Master P. And I remember coming to Dillard with my auntie. She graduated from here. So I spent a lot of time on this campus. And I want to tell you guys, I want y'all to give yourself a round of applause for because when you look at it, right, most people that look like us, they'll give 20 to life, but wouldn't give 4 years for their education. That's why I'm proud of y'all. And I tell people all the time, so I come from nothing. I remember people didn't believe in me. And you don't have to be the most talented person in the world. I remember when I first got in the music business, I had one fan. I told my brother I'm gonna turn that one into millions. Who would ever thought that I would have sold over 100 million records? And it's nothing but God. So put your trust and faith in God. I know a lot of people tell you, you can't be this, you can't do this. That's make me drive. It makes me get out there and work hard, make me want to go for it, go chase my dreams. Everybody that told me I couldn't be something, and nobody believed in me. But when you put your trust and faith in God and get your education is really what's so important. And it don't matter how young or how old, right? Elon Musk created PayPal in college. I know that you guys are going to create something. You guys are going to take this to the next level. You guys are our future. And you guys know if I could do it, you guys could do it. Don't never let nobody tell you that you can't make it, you can't be something, you can't do something. Because you guys already did it. You took the first step. You went and got a real education. People just tell me when I was in college, right? Oh man, you a square. Now they tell me, oh, you a rich square. And a lot of those people locked up or dead or in prison. Think about it. Because they didn't have the mindset. I want us today to change our mindset. Today we talk about mental health and mental illness. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody. Don't be afraid to say something to some of your peers. We used to have 911, now it's called 988. Call that number just to talk to somebody. Or talk to your friends, talk to your peers. Talk to your teachers, talk to the people in the community. But I'm gonna tell y'all something what's so important that I wanna see. I wanna see the next generation of owners of companies. Because they look at us, we are consumers. As African Americans, we spend trillions of dollars. But now we're gonna be producers. I wanna show the world that we can change, we can grow, we can be something, right? And a lot of those people that's built those brands, let's go and build family brands. Let's take whatever your dreams are, because we need everything in here. We need doctors, lawyers, teachers, but we also need entrepreneurs. Because at the end of the day, when we clock in, we clocking in for them. I want us to clock in for us. Build what we got to build. Don't mind working for people. Don't mind doing what you got to do. But start thinking now, like, how are we going to create our own business? How are we going to understand what financial literacy is? Right? I just don't want to have football, basketball players, entertainers. I want us to be the CEOs of these companies. Because we make 1/10 of 1% as African-American CEOs. We make 1/10 of 1%, so we can't even give back to our community and our culture. So we are graduating, we're doing well now. But let's change this narrative, so let's take over this big business, what they call empires, create our own, or go be CEOs of these companies. And that's what I see today. I see a bunch of CEOs here at Dillard. I'm proud of y'all, and y'all keep chasing that dream in your journey. I love y'all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Miller, for bringing your group, your crew, to remind us of that ever-important message on a day like today. I want to thank everyone for joining us as we celebrate this 2024 Founders Day Convocation, an opportunity for Dillard University to look back on its humble beginnings, lean into the values and traditions established by our founders, and strengthen us in our commitment for advancing Dillard University for many, many years to come. I want to take a moment to again thank our planning committee led by Dr. Eartha Johnson, our family and staff who are ever here, our faculty who are like family, faculty and staff who are ever here for the charge to keep us on course, and the members of our Board of Trustees who are here today. I just want to quickly acknowledge them. Please stand as I call your name: Mr. Orem Graves, Ms. Tiffany Brunson, Ms. Tiffany Moore, and we also want to thank Mr. Vince Hudson. You can be seated now. I hope I got everybody. We also want to thank our keynote this afternoon, Mr. Vince Hudson, for returning to Fair Dillard to share his inspirational story with us this morning. I also want to be the first one today to acknowledge and congratulate the class of 2025. Are y'all in the house? What? What? Y'all like those caps and gowns? Y'all like that? Okay, do what you gotta do for the next few months so you can show up in May. So you can show up in May, which is essentially tomorrow, and graduate and continue to make us proud. I have to say that this world hangs in the balance today on so many different fronts. On nearly a weekly basis, we stare down the phenomenon of storms that threaten to ambush our coastlines from the Gulf. We are weeks away from one of the most divisive, yet decisive presidential elections in the history of our democracy. It feels as though so much is on the lines today as others throughout the world try to endure warfare, oppression, terrorism, with deadly and possibly genocidal consequences. And yet we are here today, on a beautiful day, in our beautiful campus, a stately campus on the Oaks. Just here, outside these windows to my right, I have always been so humbled by this one tree. I affectionately call her Blue Bertha. Her limbs extend and almost seem to embrace us in this hallowed space. She overlooks us with a sense of protection and grace a beauty that emanates with love and a promise of endurance. She was not always this big. None of the oak trees on this campus were. It is hard for us to imagine this campus without the oaks, but they started as mere little saplings hundreds of years ago. And yet they endure, and yet they persist. And they are ever-present reminders of the dreams of our founders. Let us not take those dreams for granted. It was no small notion to envision and imagine an opportunity to educate newly freed slaves. People were dying for that dream. People were killed for it. And today we can commemorate and celebrate that dream, celebrate that vision. I have been granted the honor of serving as your interim president, which is not a role I have taken lightly. What a privilege it has been for me to serve this auspicious community in my hometown, a place I have cherished all my life. Like most native New Orleanians, steadily longing to return here whenever I found myself in a city where I couldn't buy Patton's hot sausage, or in some tragically landlocked town where there was no body of water to calm my mind and freed my soul. And I stand before you today and close this ceremony, and I pledge to keep Dillard on the path laid by our founders, a path protected by our board, a path defended by our faculty and staff, a path that resonates with the hope and promise of a new day. It was our founders' unwavering passion and tenacity that carried Dillard through many challenges over the course of our 155-year history. And we must continue that legacy, that resilience, and that light in what feels like such a dark land today. Our forefathers lit that torch that now lights a path for you to join multiple generations of Blue Devils who came before you. This path is clear. Choose a path of service. Choose a path where you protect and defend your brand. Be grateful for the blessings of your life. Stay on that path. Do your best to defend it every day, and you will leave Dillard prepared not only to experience success and prosperity like we saw in the likes of our friend and brother Percy Miller, but more importantly, to actually make this world a better place. For each job, each friend or acquaintance, each space or organization to be better because you were there, like our founders were 155 years ago, like Vince was in 1993 and returned here today. Take on the world. You will become the trailblazers of your generation. And as you learned this morning, Vince picked up that torch and never put it down. Percy picked up that torch and never put it down. You must do the same. Take strength, find confidence in the support and guidance that you have found here at Fair Dillard. Steady, strong, and timeless, like the oaks that grace your Dillard days. May we go forth today and carry with us that same sense of gratitude for how abundantly we have been blessed. Thank you.
Let us all stand for the singing of our wonderful alma mater, Fair Dillard. Words by William Stewart Nelson, the first president of the university, and music by Frederick Douglass Hall, the first choir director at Dillard University. Fair Dillard. Fair Dillard, gleaming white and spacious green. We love thy every blade and tree. We love thy breathless days, thy nights serene, thy halls where men are men and free. Arise, O sons and daughters, hail thy queen, and pledge for thy loyalty. Fair Dillard, flaming love and learning's light, teach us each day, each passing hour, a deepening love for beauty, truth, and right, source of all nobleness and power. And through the joyous day, the dreaded night, forever guide alma mater. Forever guide alma mater.
Let us prepare for the benediction. Let us pause just for a moment. In the stillness that follows our song, let us carry the melodies of holiness in our hearts as we depart. Friends and family, esteemed members of Dillard University community, as we stand at the thresholds of departure, let us remember that we are not just individuals, but a tapestry of souls woven together by the threads of shared experiences and common purpose. Before we go our separate ways, let us turn our thoughts to our brothers and sisters in Florida, whose lives have been upended by the fury of hurricanes. In the face of nature's tempest, we are reminded of our own vulnerability and the strength we find in unity. Great Spirit of comfort and resilience, as we leave this sacred gathering, infuse us with wisdom of our ancestors and the courage to face the storms of life. May we carry the light of knowledge and warmth of compassion to all the corners of the earth. For those rebuilding their lives in Florida, we ask for your tender mercies. Grant them strength in their hearts, able hands for the work ahead, and unshakable knowledge that they are not alone in their struggle. To each of us here, bestow the grace to be the beacon of hope, a shelter in the time of need, and a force of positive change in our communities. Let the spirit of Ex Fide Fortis, from faith and strength, courage and strength, guide our steps and inspire our actions. As we depart, let us carry the spirit of Dillard University with us, a spirit of resilience, a spirit of excellence, a spirit of unwavering hope. May we be living testimonies to the power of education, the strength of community, and enduring legacy of this great institution. And now may the blessings and the peace, the love, and the understanding be upon each and every one of us this day and always. Ashe and amen.